Hi, the case for today is A.K. Gopalan versus Union of India, AIR 1950. A.K. Gopalan, a prominent communist leader, was detained by the Government of India under the Preventive Detention Act 1950, a legislation enacted soon after the commencement of the Constitution. The Act empowered the state to detain individuals without trial for reasons relating to the security of the state and maintenance of public order. Gopalan's detention continued after the Constitution came into force. Aggravated, he approached the Supreme Court of India under Article 32, challenging both the constitutional validity of the Preventive Detention Act 1950 and the legality of his detention. He contended that the Act violated his fundamental rights under Article 19, 21 and 22, arguing that the procedure prescribed by the Act was arbitrary and unreasonable and therefore could not be regarded as a valid procedure established by law under Article 21. The Union of India defended the Act on the ground that preventive detention was expressly recognized by the Constitution and that the detention had been carried out strictly in accordance with the statutory procedure. Now coming to the issues. Issue number 1, whether the Preventive Detention Act 1950 was unconstitutional for violating the fundamental rights guaranteed under the Constitution. Issue number 2, what is the scope and meaning of Article 21 and whether the expression procedure established by law requires the procedure to be fair, just and reasonable. Issue number 3, whether the fundamental rights under Article 14, 19 and 21 are interrelated or whether each operates independently in its own sphere. Issue number 4, whether a law authorizing preventive detention, once enacted by a competent legislature and procedurally complied with, can be challenged on the ground of unreasonableness under Article 19. Decision. The Supreme Court of India, by a majority judgment, upheld the constitutional validity of the Preventive Detention Act 1950 and dismissed A.K. Gopalan's petition. The Honorable Court held that Article 21 requires only that personal liberty be curtailed in accordance with a procedure established by a law validly enacted by the legislature and that the judiciary is not empowered to examine the fairness or reasonableness of such procedure. In doing so, the court rejected the importation of the American concept of due process of law into Article 21. The court further held that Article 14, 19 and 21 operate in distinct and exclusive fields and that a law dealing with deprivation of personal liberty under Article 21 cannot be tested for reasonableness under Article 19. Since preventive detention is expressly recognized by Article 22, the court concluded that as long as the statutory requirements were satisfied, the detention was constitutionally valid. Thank you.